A very good afternoon to each and every one of you. Happy Wednesday. Mio Adlan here once again, together with you, accompanying you, sharing with you all of the hot issues that's happening, not just in Malaysia, but globally as well on today's edition of What's for Lunch. Hope you guys have enjoying your day so far. And people who are in the Klang Valley, PJ, Damansara, parts of KL, Shah Alam have already stored their water because today starts the water disruption across all of these places in the Klang Valley in the state of Selangor specifically. I've stored my water yesterday. Hopefully it's enough. I know for a fact that for the next few days, right up until Saturday, I won't be doing any laundries. And mandi pun macam mandi bagi bau terbaik je lah. One person that I know who's not having this disruption of water at all is my partner in crime, who's like so lancy, like, I have no problems with the water issue in my place. Yeah, Melvin Lam. Hey, Melvin.
You do smell.
I mandi lah today. I sempat mandi lah today. Come on lah.
You mandi kering.
Jangan. I still pakai sabun. I still ada water. I ada tangki air dekat atas ceiling. So I'm still fine. How are you, Melvin?
Fine. This well, it could be better. I tell you, this morning, I didn't receive I received some very sad a video sent to me this morning. That well, it's actually, I mean, it doesn't make my day well. I mean,
we definitely
talk about it later.
Yeah, exactly. You've shared with me offline the particular news that you actually received early this morning. We're definitely going to be touching on that news throughout today's topic. Why? Because is that I know for a fact that a lot of you, our fellow viewers especially, you've been hearing us talking about this topic. You've been hearing us preaching about how important this topic is, not just to ourselves, but to the community and to our loved ones, wherever they might be, because the fact that the pandemic has been hitting us very hard since the early parts of 2020, and you could definitely see the effects of it. You can actually see the repercussions of whatever that has happened due to the pandemic. It has been hitting us in more ways than one.
That's why on Monday we just brought up our topic for on Monday was Sotong game.
Yeah.
So I think we really start a Sotong game. A lot of participations are going to enroll themselves.
Yeah. That's the I don't really want to touch about that because again, Melvin wants to be the organizer about that. But coming back to today's topic, don't mind the title that we have actually down here. Don't go mental. Why we're saying that, why we are actually enforcing this is that, yes, of course, when you talk about mental health issues, when you talk about mental health in general, a lot of people, we have been saying it on and on and on again, that a lot of people are experiencing this from all walks of life, regardless whether they are in their young teens, whether they are, working adults, whether they are in their golden years, whether they are in the T20, M40, B40, whatever the number is. I think the number has already changed as what we discussed earlier. But we want to make sure that people outside there are really taking care of themselves, because this matter specifically is definitely getting a bit out of hand. Melvin, kick things off,
Yeah.
please.
You could see here. You'll be surprised. Close more than 970 million populations in the world. More than 970 million.
Almost
Means
1 billion people.
billions people in the world live with a mental health disorder.
Okay.
And that is actually 1 in every 10 people in the world.
All right.
Well, it might sound okay, a lot, 1 every 10. But do you know in Malaysia, in 2019, it was reported by WHO, 3 out every 100, that's 3%, which is, I mean, for us, for Malaysia itself. But it's in the world, it's every 1 in 10. That's a very big number.
Yeah.
You know, so if let's say India have a 1 billion population, 100 millions of their citizens have mental health disorder. That is how many times of Malaysian populations.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is something, a subject that we can't avoid because it have effects on the. You see, I don't know whether Mio, you share this with me. Let's say one person in the family have mental disorder without knowing, and they throw tantrums, it's very sad, will affect the rest of the members of the family.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, let's say the husband will affect the wife, the children. They say, "Oh, my husband is having this." She herself will face also mental disorder, and even the children as well. So
Yeah.
it's something we should not avoid. We, the governments in particular, should attend to this because if this mental disorders getting larger, it will affect our, first of all, the country, the country economics, the world, how many world economics will be affected.
Yeah, and to come back about mental health issues, because again, I believe you're in the same boat as I am, Alvin. Because
Yeah.
when we were brought up, in the years back in the 80s and even early 90s, when you talk about mental health issues, a lot of people before were making fun of it. Oh, kalau mental health issues, that means somebody orang tu gila, orang tu insane. Dia kena pergi hantar Tanjung Rambutan. Dia kena pergi jumpa doktor sebab dia kuku, those kind of things. But what we're trying to say is that mental health issues or mental health concerns has actually gone more than that. Bukan saja mereka yang ada tekanan jiwa yang actually go clinically insane for that matter. Because when you talk about mental health, you're talking about their mental well-being. You're talking about their own because depression is related to mental health issues. You're talking about when people are having these kind of problems, family problems, financial problems, it affects their mind and it affects their way of thinking, hence why it is being classified as a mental health issue, Melvin.
Yes, I think you brought the subject of yesterday years. I mean, my era, more yesterday than yours.
Yep, yeah, I have to agree with that. Yes.
Right. You see, when people in those days, in my era, let's say, we all go Tanjung Rambutan because in general, people if I remember correctly, mental issue is not a common so-called because people there are more happier. I find my parents and probably my grandparents days are more happier people than what it is today.
Why do you think that is?
I mean, it's because of the culture has changed. We are very much of course, because of the progress of the economics, we want better life. We expect bigger things. That's why the kiasu kiasi cultures comes in. When we lose something, that's why we can't afford. In those days, life was simpler.
Yeah.
I believe life was simpler. But today's world is different. Expectation is high. People want to advance. The country want to advance. The country want to be better than their neighbor countries. They want to be the regions number one and all this thing, not even number two. They all fight for it. So that drive everyone to the peak. And if anything happens, they might not able to accept it.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
mean, like, touching about, your era before, again, during my time, we are going
Yeah,
back to the late 80s, early 90s, when I was a young kid, when I was a teenager. The only thing that my parents had to worry about is, yeah, as of right now, like me myself, putting food on the table. And I have to say that I'm very well blessed. I'm very thankful of my upbringing, of what my family has given me, and how we live our life back then, and the people surrounding us. We were blessed enough to have a somewhat easy life. We may not be living a lavish life, but
yeah,
we still understood. We still had that happy life. We still have that time. Whenever we want to go out, we want to express ourselves. Whenever we want to, like, decompress, should I say? Sure,
yeah,
whenever it is that when we have trouble. But nowadays, I agree with you, because the fact that it's a bit of a dog eat dog world out there. A lot of
yeah,
people are always gunning to be the best, wanting to get that money first, wanting to get that recognition, wanting to be published first. Even right now in the world of social media, a lot of people are
mm,
so hyped up in wanting to be the first at everything that they do, and it gives a lot of backlashes to their
yeah,
followers, to the other commoners out there who keeps on looking at this like, alah, stresnya dia ni hidup senangnya, stresnya dia ni naik private jet, stresnya dia ni naik dia ni pakai bag LV, bestnya aku tak boleh, aku stres, aku nak bunuh diri. That's the
no,
worry that we're having right
yeah.
now.
But these so-called influencers will would argue with you. They say, "Oh, I'm doing this to inspire my followers."
There's always two ways to look at it, Melvin. There's
I'm doing
always
this to
two ways to look
inspire,
at
but
it.
then true. But then if the economics of the country, of the situation at this, especially pandemic, is affect everyone worldwide, you're showing that the top 20, what you can afford, it will not affect. Top 20 will not be affected. But then the middle and the bottom one will be affected
Yeah.
mentally. That's why I say if these people, yes, you can afford to buy it, but then if you want to inspire your followers, or please do it moderately. I think if you can recall what I in the past episode, I say if I do know this social and influencer which are rich, let's say you buy a baju that's $2,000-3,000. Why you spend it on spend a lesser one? The extra money, use it for good use for those unfortunate.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
mean, like, I can already imagine the rebuttals that these people would actually have, like, because I've earned it, because I've worked my bottom off to earn the money for me to buy that 3,000 ringgit dress, for me to buy that 7,000 ringgit new mobile phone, because I want to reward myself. I don't care about others. This is how I live my life. If people outside there are looking at me and they're becoming stressed, it is not my problem. It is not my responsibility. That
Yeah.
would be the typical answer from the
That
influencer.
is a typical answer. But I think for me, for instance, I talk about myself, which I'm of course trying to influence the philosophy or
Mm.
the now as well.
How many
Yesterday I
followers
have
you have?
I don't have followers, yes, but I have my perception of life is different now.
Mm-hmm.
Like yesterday, I met up with old friends at Tato. I say, gone are the days that I want to be grammar and all these things, attention grabbers. No, gone are those days. Because after this pandemic, I mean, it's not after. We're still in the pandemic and moving pandemic. If I could make someone happier, this is my goal. I will be richer if I make someone happier in life.
Yeah, that's. I mean, like, a lot of people
Mhm.
have definitely different types how they want to live their life. And I mean, like,
But
I respect you obviously when you have that kind of a goal in your life to be in that. But unfortunately, it doesn't go along with everyone else out there. But I
yes,
think, at least you want to aspire people
but
out there
yes,
to be the
that's
better man.
that's like but you know that actually we have a World Happiness Day
Mm,
reports and all these things, but I feel the program was not actually no respective government actually promoting it, challenging it to the mass, but we do have an annual World Happiness report that's actually organized by the United Nations,
mm-hmm. Yeah,
right? That's why I think
exactly.
probably at now we can't probably stimulate the economy, but we can actually assist getting the communities to be happier.
Yeah. I mean,
right?
it's all about that. It's about coming together. It's all about building that relationship. And again, not just having that kind of mindset where you just think of yourself. You need to open up and try to help others, even though that you yourself need help. But
Mm.
sometimes it's better to give than to receive. I know it is so much easy to say that rather than doing it, but somehow or other, even like when you talk about
Mm.
religious factors, we were brought up, in the Muslim world, the
Yeah.
Quran has actually taught us it is so much better for you to actually give than to receive. And the more that you give, more often or not, you will get things back in return in any other shape or form. One, I want to
Yes.
share with our audiences a bit of facts over here. The most common mental health issues that has been registered for Malaysians specifically are
Mm.
acute stress disorders, anxiety, depression, adjustment disorders, and burnout. And it has become more important now more than ever for mental health care to be more accessible for all walks of life, especially in the low income bracket or the B40 or
Right.
B45 or B50, whatever you want to call it. And one thing I do want to share with you, Melvin, one interesting fact. Tan Sri Nur Hisham, our DG of Health, has
Mm.
actually said that the latest national prevalence of depression was 2.3%, accounting about half a million people, and single females from rural areas and lower income groups were at the higher risk. Now, why do you think that is?
The lower income group, a lot of people lost their job. This is what I the video that I received this morning.
Hmm. Yeah,
Someone hanged himself at the corridor of the walkway. I
yeah.
think he's the Yi Rider. I think he's in the Yi Rider uniform. It happens in Kuala Lumpur. It
Hmm.
was discovered early in the morning. It happened yesterday morning, I believe, where the shops lots are still closed. So it will affect a lot. I mean, uh, we did a little bit of contribution as well. We I mean, so 2 weeks ago, we actually make a small contributions to the widow of this lady
Hmm.
who lost her husband, and she worked as a cleaner only, and she have a young daughter. So
Mm.
we have to encourage her to live on.
Yeah,
It's quite sad because there's still schoolings and all things, but a lot of people are with the similar so-called issues that facing it, and some are probably worse.
yeah.
You know, um, that's why I don't know what to say. I can only give comforts wording,
Mm.
but at the end of the day, I think it has to be uh, the strength has to be given by the society to them. Don't
Correct.
probably this person that I saw this morning, this person, this guy has nowhere. Probably has been borrowing money for how long, have been threatening him, family, and all this thing. Do not give, pressure until someone has no way to get out from it. The only way to get out from it is to die.
Yeah.
Understand what I
I
mean?
mean, like,
Yeah.
just to extend of what Melvin just mentioned, again, we are just
Yeah.
speculating over here. We do not know the actual
Yeah.
reason what has happened to that
Yeah.
particular person who unfortunately has committed suicide, and
Mm.
was actually, I mean, again, pardon my words, pardon my phrase,
Yeah.
has been displayed for everyone to see. If you were to come across this video, first of all, I don't recommend you to watch it, but if you want to watch it, have the intentions of really having that empathetic feeling, having that sorry feeling, and wanting to help others. Because if you were to watch this, it is very saddening, it is very heart
Yeah.
wrenching to see somebody taking their own life, because maybe, again, maybe here we're speculating over here, maybe he didn't think that there was any other way for him to pursue his life moving forward. And that is very, very sad indeed.
Yeah.
Every life matters, regardless of whatever it is that you do, regardless of whatever stature of society that you are standing on, regardless of whoever your parents are, regardless whether you're a single mother, whether you're a family man, whether you're a teenager taking SPM, it doesn't matter, because every life matters. And again, preaching again back, you always have a reason to live on. There's always going to be challenges in your life. Is how you come about it that makes you stronger. And there's a lot of people out there, regardless of what people may say, a lot of people out there are willing to help, Melvin.
Yes, but there are also people are not willing to help. I mean, in reality, there's not many people there willing to help. But I hope things change now. Lending someone your years is good. Sometimes it's very good. It's good enough. You know, it doesn't mean that monetary. It doesn't mean that. But at the moment that you lend your years, you give some comfort, build up the confidence of the persons. You know, it could not be monetary. I mean, that meant first it could be a relationship the person's facing, or something like this. But lend your years to them. You know,
Correct.
that's why I mean we try now again. I'm going to sell a bit, promote a bit. We have this new program called Dear ACTnow, where people start to wrote in. It's every week we have. At the moment, we have in Chinese Chinese program twice a week, Monday and Thursday evening, 9 p.m. But hopefully, with God blessing, next month we could have other languages as well. So, I mean, last on Monday we have even a lady who wrote in that he have this unhappiness childhood because she is very fat. She was being laughed at school by her friends, and some people try to avoid her. No, in the school, they say, "Oh, you're gemuk. You want to friend her?" So she get very so-called insecure in life, you know. So it could be that kind of manner too, you know. So we actually have our counselor, our host, try to rationale things, how we should take things in our life, you know, all these things. So as I say, you come across anyone, please lend your ears to them.
Yeah, exactly. So if you guys really want to know more about what Melvin had just mentioned, the show is called Dear ACTnow. Just go and watch it on our Facebook page. The program goes live every Monday and Thursday evening at 9 p.m. Am I correct, Melvin?
Right. That's right.
Yeah. So go down to our Facebook page if you want to watch it live Monday and Thursday. But if you can't watch it live, you can always rewatch it because it's always going to be posted there on our Facebook page. And if you have any concerns, or should I say, if you have any reasons to write to us, please do. Just drop us a PM. Just write to us. You know, it doesn't have to be long. It could be short, but we will try to address it by using the expertise of our appointed panelists. These are professional panelists that we have. They are not just any people that we just pick them off the street. They're not me. Of course, I'm not giving any, any proper advice. I can give my opinions, but these are, trained professionals who does this thing for a living, and they, who knows, might be able to help you, or at least, able to release yourself from those kind of ill-minded feelings that you may have. All right. Okay. Right. Yes. Ending of the first topic. Wow, that's heavy. That's very heavy, Melvin. I mean, sometimes, coming onto the show, we laugh, we make jokes because, we always want to make things lively as much as we can. But there are certain topics out there that we really need to focus on, that we really need to be careful of, because, again, we're dealing with people's lives and with people's, well-being. And it is a very serious topic, this one.
That's right.
Right. Okay. So jumping to the next one. Yes, another serious topic as well. But maybe we can poke a bit fun about here because we just want to liven things up a bit. Do you know, Melvin, that today is a very special day, where today is the International Day for Disaster Risk Reduction. I've never heard about this day before, Melvin. What is this day?
Well, it's this is something I think it's not a small so-called day. It's a big issue. Disaster Risk Reductions Day is actually, I believe, is something that we should be pay attention to.
Okay.
Right. This was started in 1989. Not it's quite some time ago. It's about my age.
No. You don't compare 1989 with your age, okay? Tolong jangan. Even I'm older than 89.
The day I was born, 1989. It's actually a program by United Nations, was launched in 1989. So they have actually dedicated October 13 every year to promote global culture of risk awareness and disaster reductions.
Okay.
All right. And this year, 2021 edition, the theme was to international corporations for developing countries to reduce their disaster risk and disaster losses.
Panjang ni tema dia.
Yeah, very very long.
No, I guess in a nutshell, what we're trying to say is that
Yeah.
the International Day for Disaster Risk Reduction is more of an awareness campaign where
Yeah.
we're trying to tell the people all over the world to stop hurting Mother Nature. Because why? The more you hurt Mother Nature by doing illegal logging, even permitted logging for that matter,
Yeah.
or clearing of forests, or doing anything that could hurt Mother Nature, Mother Nature would bite back in many ways, kan? Banyak with typhoon
Anyways,
lah, with
yeah,
ombak tinggi lah, dengan ribut lah, dengan gempa bumi lah. These are the ways that Mother Nature comes and kicks you back.
yeah. Mio, if you can, if you are aware, since last year
Mhm.
to this year, we have no more haze. We did not experience any haze.
Sebab orang tak boleh buka kilang mah, COVID mah.
No, but somewhere, no one's cut the trees and burn the trees for palm oil plantations.
Mhm.
Right,
Yeah.
that was a major cause of it. I mean, if I experienced myself, I mean, you can recall, it was so bad. I was driving down to Clank.
It was
I
bad.
couldn't hardly see in the what day night. It's just like wow,
Yeah.
it's like full haze. It's just like less than 50 meters. Is you can't see anything further than that.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, and then whole of Singapore is covered with full haze. So
Again, we Asians, this part of the world, we try to, kita imagine kabus. We imagine, European feeling, winter,
yeah,
all
this
the,
is
all
autumn,
the,
winter, autumn feel. But then it's autumn feel would not be so toxic. The air, because
Of
it's filled
course,
of
exactly.
burning, all the burnt particles was all flowing around. You walk up on the street, you come back, you'll be full of dust, covered with dust, kind of things.
Yeah.
So this day is actually to tell us, whatever you do,
Mm.
think of the consequences, not
Yeah.
only to you, to others as well.
Yeah.
I know, because we are now getting industrialized, we get and more advanced. We get sometimes overexcited over kind of things. We do not care about mother nature.
Yeah. And I totally agree with you, because why? Like contohnya lah, for example, right now, you only think about your own self, but you tend to forget the world still needs to be inhabitable for our children, for their children, for then their children as well. So if you only think that, oh, okay, I'm going to clear out the hutan right now because I can make 20 million, 50 million, so whatnot. I don't care what's going to happen later on. It is our our line, our anak cucu who's actually going to suffer, and that is not fair to them due to our own selfishness and our greed for for money lah, basically.
You see, I will have some suggestion. If I have my way one day,
Of course, you will always have your way, tapi tak banyak orang
I
bagi.
always dream. I mean, since having ACTnow, I've been trying to realize my dream, because dream is easier to realize. I don't call it fantasy. I always tell my friends, I don't sell fantasy. I sell dreams, because dreams can be realized. Fantasy, you can't. I would love to be in addressing the members of the United Nations, probably to promote ACTnow. We'll offer ACTnow to them, to the countries that love, the wish to have it, because we do not charge. It's a free services. And also, if coming to this, like today is 13 about disaster and all these things, we should give a cap. Everyone runs business wants to make money, want to make profit, right?
Yes.
Otherwise, should I put in my money in? But you should give a cap of your profit. Okay, let's say you make. Okay, fine. And annually, you make 10 million profits. Fine, 10 million. Anything above that, there will be a windfall tax, a high windfall tax. I think currently probably is that you every profit you make, you go 30% to the governments, you take 70%, profit taxations in general. But it will the other way around. After the cap, the government will take 70%.
You take home 30%.
30%, because the 7% will be a pool to make sure to build back the mother nature's. Everything that means need to be. They have the emergency pool to address the disaster. It's a disaster fund.
I mean, honestly, you've been living on this God's given earth for more than about 50 plus years. You think that can actually be a realization? You really think so?
It can be if everyone of us agree to that. It's a voice of the community. I don't know about you. If you agree to me, that's at least 2 persons now.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. It's something that obviously needs a
Because
lot of work.
you know how much you have. Okay, so you can enjoy and buy the best things in life, but you can't bring it after life.
Yeah. Tapi
But
bukan macam
people can remember you.
Tapi bukan you macam you boleh tanam with your Mercedes ke? You know, some cultures and some
Oh yes, I
religions-
saw. Yeah, I saw that. Really, the big luxury car they taman together. No.
Oh my God. I mean, no offense to these people. I mean, it is their belief. It is their own. I mean, like, you know, when it comes to religion, you know, we are never experts. We don't really want to dictate this.
Even
But
they give you that branded car, gold make. That's so much you can bring over or tanam. But it's sometimes too surplus that you. Why not you do something that the people, at least in your country, remember you?
yeah.
You know,
It's
so
like the
corporations
pepatah
as well,
Melayu
you know?
say that harimau mati tinggalkan belang,
Yes.
Manusia mati tinggalkan nama. And
Nama,
for the
yes.
better things, for the good
I was taught
things.
this in school. That's why I remember this.
You pandai juga, you belajar juga kat sekolah dulu. You tak adalah tidur je kat dalam kelas, okay lah.
I tak tidur. I teach teacher what to say.
Walau weh. Okay, jangan cari pasal dengan Marvin. So to wrap up the topic again, what we're trying to say is that yes, as much as we want to follow the technology, as much as we want to make the economy back as it was before, but we always need to be we need to always bear in mind that a lot of things out there, whatever it is that we do, always have consequences, especially when it comes to our Mother Earth and how she is being treated. Because if you do not treat Mother Earth with respect, more often or not, she will come and take it away from you in a more disastrous way. Final words on this, Melvin?
No, I think it's enough for lunch today.
All right, enough. Cool, good enough. Thanks so much, Melvin. It's always been a pleasure.
Tomorrow.
So tomorrow, all right. Cheers, man.
Be a happy person. Everyone's here.
All right, happy day.
Happy day.
All right, guys, that was Marvin together with myself talking about today's topic. Yes, it was a very hard and serious topic, the one that we brought in earlier. But again, we can't stress this enough. It is very important for us to always be mindful for whatever it is that's happening around you, especially amongst your loved ones. You know, mental health issues is always a serious topic for us to always discuss it. Never, lock it up in a box. Never put it away. Always voice it out, even though you could land in trouble. But at the end of the day, it's all about voicing it out and having someone to, hear about it, and they could help you, perhaps. All right, so that's it from me. That's it from us. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Watch us again tomorrow. We'll be back. Take care now. Goodbye.